Hello and welcome to Sujit Talks. My name is Sujit Pilla, a registered migration agent here in Melbourne, and this video is about the Queensland registration of interest for onshore. 2025-26 financial year, you can now start doing the ROIs, and there are a few things I would like to talk about in this video related to the ROIs for onshore applicants. We have a number of questions in the ROI, and I'll talk about a few questions, starting with question number 3, where you're required to do a passport number. For example, you've got 2 passports, dual citizenships we are talking about, then you might have to use only 1 passport and only create 1 ROI. So if you create 2 ROIs, the likelihood is that only 1 ROI is considered. You wouldn't have any advantage in creating 2 ROIs regardless of which factor you're creating it on. The only exception is if you have a partner and the partner is skilled, then the partner could do an ROI in their own right. But this question number 3 is about passport number, and make sure that your EOI and ROI has got the same passport number, and do not create multiple ROIs with variations in passport number just to get an advantage. Like I said, Queensland is very clear in the webinar that I attended yesterday, organized by MIA, the Migration Institute of Australia. They clearly mentioned that they do not entertain different ROIs. It was also the same message that they gave last week, which was organized by Migration Alliance, MA. Question number 5 is about ANZSCO codes, and make sure that you do the correct ANZSCO code, which means that the nominated occupation that you're going for should be in the Queensland Onshore skill occupation list. So if you're putting something else, then obviously you won't have a chance there. And it is 6-digit codes that they are after, and it must be currently available in the onshore skill list, like I've mentioned before. Question number 6 is about subclass in the EOI versus ROI. So here they're asking you to do subclass, which one you want to go for, 190 or 491. If your ROI is having a different subclass to that of your EOI, then again, it doesn't make any sense. There's only one subclass that you could select because there is a radio button there. So it's either or, obviously. And again, there's no need to do 2 ROIs for 190 and 491 because you can only do 1 ROI. For example, you did 190 and 491 subsequently, then they'll pick up the 491 because they'll go with the last one that you have submitted. So make sure that whatever you do in the ROI, the last one is what they will look at. And this year, you need to do a new ROI, by the way, 2025-26. Question number 9 is about the number of hours per week. They want 20 hours, and that is per week, obviously. And if you have multiple jobs and then you're adding them all up to make it 20, a classic example would be a nurse working in 2 hospitals. And that is unusual for an ICT professional where they will work 10 hours each in 2 IT companies. So multiple jobs are here accepted. But for ICT professionals, if they are doing self-employment or they are into self-employment, then probably there's an argument that they did 10 hours in one place and another 10 hours or 15 and 5 for different clients. Question number 10, it asks about the postcode. So you just go for 4 digits postcode. Numbers only, do not put the suburb name. Question number 12 is about annualized earnings, which is a critical factor in the selection factors that they have, because Queensland doesn't look at only the points. In fact, points is not a major factor. The only thing that you need to have is 65 points. So they have a calculator which you could use to get the annualized earnings. And for example, your annualized earnings is increased by a few cents or $1 or even $1,000 in the next week or next month. What Queensland is saying is you do not have to do another ROI unless there's a significant increase in your salary, for example, the 20,000K increase, because it's not a big factor if it is a slight increase. Then talking about annualized earnings, they don't want you to do cents. They want the full dollar figure. And there are various ways to calculate that for those who are employed and those who are self-employed. For self-employed, they want you to do profit and loss statement. And for employees, you're looking at the current income statement. And a related question is in question number 14 for 12 and 13, where they actually ask you if you have saved the evidence of this annualized earnings, meaning what was the document that you used to calculate. So it could be the current income statement, which you can download from the ATO website. And at that time, what was the current income statement is what Queensland wants. That time means when you did the ROI. So you need to download that statement. Likewise, for self-employment, you need to have the profit and loss statement. And it's nice gesture from Queensland in question number 14, where they're actually asking you to save the evidence and asking you whether you have saved the evidence, so that gives you an idea that you must have that evidence, otherwise ROI might be refused. Question number 15 is about whether you are single or not. Now, single status, according to Department of Home Affairs, is different, and for ROI purposes, it's different. So read carefully what they said there. They mentioned answer yes if your EOI doesn't include a partner. Answer yes if you have a partner, but they are not included in your EOI. Answer no if your EOI includes a partner. So are you single is the question again. For example, if you have an Australian partner or the partner is not included in the EOI, then the answer will be yes, which means you are taken to be single for ROI Queensland purposes. Now, based on the response you give in question 15, you'll be taken to question number 16 and 17, which could be different. Now, if the answer is no, which means you're saying you're not single, then question number 16 and 17 talk about whether you're a skilled partner or whether you have a skilled partner, and that skilled partner has got a positive and a valid skills assessment in the instrument LIN 19/05119 means 2019. The reality is that since 2019, the skilled occupation list 189, 190, and 491 purposes haven't been changed. So you're still looking at LIN 19/51, and this partner should have a valid and positive skills assessment from that. If the answer is yes for question 16, which means you're saying you have a skilled partner, then question number 17 will ask about the ANZSCO code for the skilled partner. Regardless whether you say yes or no to question 16, the next question will be about partners English. And there is a question about email address in which you can give your agent's email address, or the agent could give their email address if they are doing it for you, the ROI. The last question, again, it's a good thing from Queensland asking the applicants to save a copy of responses because they don't give you a copy of submitted ROI. That's all about 2025-26 Migration Queensland Onshore Registration of Interest ROI.
That brings an end to this video. My name is Sujit Billa, registered migration agent here in Australia. If you're after immigration advice, simply go to my website sujittalks.au and schedule an initial consultation session. For all general information, go to YouTube channel Sujit Talks and click on that subscribe button.